Good morning, everybody. Hello. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. This is a Monday through Friday virtual stitching retreat where you hang out with me in here, follow me on my sewing journey, and I hope I can inspire you to put something under the needle. Great to see everybody in the chat today. Hello, hello. Hey, Debbie flew by. Yeah, you guys know today is our first giveaway Friday of the fall since I got back. All right, Miss Frida wants her. She can hear me start, and she is chomping at the biscuit to get a biscuit. Aren't you, Miss Frida? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you are. So, hello, everybody. Yeah, it's Giveaway Friday, so it's hashtag Power Tools. Now, hashtag is the little pound sign, okay? Not the @ symbol, but the pound sign, and Power Tools, plural, all one word. Not Power Tools with Thread, just hashtag Power Tools. We abbreviate it, okay? Let me get, oh, you know what? I forgot to set up the giveaway tool. Let me get that going. I got to do that for you guys. Just real quick. It'll go ahead and collect those of you that have already put it in, it will collect it. So let me choose a live stream, this one, and put in that hashtag POWERTOOLS, hashtag Power Tools. Start collecting comments, and it's already, let's see, 67. There we go. So you guys do a hashtag Power Tools giveaway Friday. So thank you for the idea of when I am sitting in this section of my sewing room to put a quilt over the door, because the light behind me is the east sun, so bright that it makes my camera and everything look really dark. Okay, and y'all, US shipping only? I forgot to ask. I'm gonna go ahead and make it worldwide. How about that? Since I'm not paying for shipping. I'm just not sure. So I forgot to ask Julie about that. So the giveaway for today is the ultimate bundle of Juju's new stabilizer and batting. How about that? All right, so let me show you what that is. Designs by Juju is going to send you a roll. I told you today's giveaway was going to be a doozy. Yay! So today's giveaway is going to be a roll of the Cut Easy. Okay, that's kind of a mesh, heavy cutaway. It's for medium heavy stuff. Tear Easy for lighter weight projects. And a roll of the Magic Mesh, new mesh stabilizer she's got. And the ultimate batting is the 30 by 40 Lofty Soft. Awesome. Thank you so much, Juju, for supporting my channel, and congratulations on a fantastic launch of your new products. I know you guys are going to love this stuff. I know you are. You didn't get your stick yet, did you? You're all bummed about that. I got distracted doing the giveaway. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you order one already, you'll just have more. That's fine. Go ahead. Get in there on it. I got to give Miss Frito a stick. Here you go, baby. All right. Bye-bye. So much going on today. So much. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, hashtag Power Tools. Now, that only works in the live. If you're watching on replay, I'm sorry. I've been announcing for about a week that we were going to do the giveaway today, and that's only on the live. So it does not work on replay. So if you are watching on replay, thank you. I appreciate my replay crew. You guys are the bomb. I would love reading all your comments. But if you put it below in the comments below the video after the live, and we're going to go off live at 9 a.m. Central today, then it won't be there. So, okay. Yeah, it's awesome. You guys, so I was playing with this yesterday. I did open up the Magic Mesh, and I've got a piece of it here open. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. We're going to use it today and get into this. So I'll let you see up close. It's got a nice wide weave to it. Okay. I pressed it. I cut a 1-inch strip, okay, and I pressed it no steam, and there was no change to it. It's 100% nylon, okay? So, and then I steamed it, and I did not see any discernible size difference with the steam. So before you use this and begin using it regularly, be sure to do a little test piece. Cut yourself like a 2x2 square or a 1x1 square or something like that, and do just heat, and then measure it again, and then heat and steam and measure it again, and make sure it's going to work for you, because all steam and heat are different based on your iron, right? And then also the batting. So I've got my background fabric ready to go for the autumn letters. And then this is the Lofty Soft. And it is so wonderful. Look at the drape on that. Isn't that beautiful? This is perfect. Table runners, placemats, Christmas tree skirts, anything that needs to lay nice and flat, and you don't want the bulk, you don't want it to take on a life of its own. This stuff is fabulous. I'm loving this. Awesome. Great to see everybody here. Hello, hello, you guys. Yeah. Let me make sure that the giveaway tool is working. 352. Fabulous. All right. We are good to go on that. So hashtag power tools is the keyword to enter. And I'm not sure where Juju's going to ship. I wonder if Amy is watching or if they've even figured that out. I'm not sure. Let me text and find out what I do with my phone, y'all. There it is right there. Because so then it is so soft. Catherine, I know. Catherine, I have your little duck on the dash of my Jeep. Thank you. I love that. Let me text Miss Juju and find out where let me see. Will you ship overseas? Yeah. Let me do UK or Australia, or we've got a couple of viewers in Mexico, right? And South America. I don't know. All right. So, because y'all, there's all kinds of rules now about shipping stuff overseas, physical products. Oh my word, it's terrible. In order to ship something, but it's not a sale, so you don't have to register for a sale. Anyway, it's crazy. The government in the UK is just too much. You made a purchase from Sewing Machines Plus and forgot to use my link. Oh, Dee Dee. Give them a call and tell them, if you would. They'll figure that out. I appreciate you letting me know. Thank you. Yeah, especially if you bought a long arm. Yeah. They're on Pacific time. Give it a little bit, right? But you can give them a call. Well, hello, Sonia from Oklahoma. All right, today, you guys, I could very well easily, because I have a luminaire, a brother luminaire, I could very easily do the autumn letters all in one go, okay, in like the 9x14 hoop, because these this finished block is 2 3/4 by finish size, 2 3/4 by 13. So I could put my 9x14 hoop on here. I could put my 10x16 hoop on here and do this. But because I'm making the 6x10, and I know not everybody has a ginormous hoop, I'm going to go ahead and do a multi-hooping. Now that's different than a split hooping. A split hooping is where you take one design and you split it, and you get little marks where you can put thumbtacks on the back and accurately move your stuff and all that. A multi-hooping is where this is actually supposed to be 2 blocks that are sewn together. 2 blocks that are sewn together. But I'm going to do them so they're not sewn together I'm going to do them so they're all done on one piece of fabric, but I have to move the fabric. So when we're going to talk about moving fabric for multi-hooping, there are some things you can do to make your life a lot easier. And one of them is print out your design. If you have Embrilliance, it's simply up in the top, file, print, okay? And you only need to print page 1. Page 2 is usually your color stops if you're using Embrilliance. So let me make sure I'm not missing anything here. I've got a link to this below. I also have a link to all of this stuff for Juju. If you'd use that too, if you're going to order some, I appreciate it. So I'm using Dimes Print and Stick Target paper. This is a clear type paper. If you have this and you've struggled with it in your printer, use the single page feed on the back of your printer if you have one. If I try to put it in the regular print tray and run it through, I didn't have any success. But this is the stuff that's kind of clear and shiny. The other stuff that was more fabric feeling would go through the paper tray. That's the older stuff. That went through just fine. But this stuff, it really needs to go through the single feed in the back of the printer. So I did that and I was able to get them. I kind of had to hold it on the back and press print from the front, you know, and stand on one foot and put my tongue just right, but I got it. So to make these work for you, I know Sandra says, I love the clear print and stick. Yes. So to make these work for you, if you'll notice, I trimmed them very close to the design. And when you print in Embrilliance, it's kind of hard for you guys to see, but there is a crosshair. See that crosshair right there, that line? And so I've got the line over here, the crosshair, and there's a line. Well, it was over there. I think I cut it. Yeah, it's actually light. It's going through that blue right in there. So, and same on here. So you want to print out your pieces for multi-hooping, and that's going to help you with alignment. Another trick you need to do is to cut your fabric too large so that you can get it. What are we seeing? Okay. So that you can trim it as needed. Don't cut your fabric to size or just a little bit extra. You don't want to do that. You're going to cut it too large so that you can move it. Plus, you need to be able to move it around in the hoop, okay? So I cut this 17 by 8, and the design is 2 3/4 by 13. So this is 8 by 17. So I've got 4 extra inches of fabric. Hopefully that's enough. If it's not, I'll show you how to fix it. I didn't even think about moving the fabric around. Okay. And you also want to press your fabric into the quarters. Okay, so you can see my quarter pressing lines. All right, I've got a nice center crease. You're new here from Southern California. Hi, Ms. Fab Vines. Thank you for joining us. We are having a giveaway, and I hope you can get in on that. Where's my welcoming committee? There's Miss Fab Vines. You guys need to give her some virtual hugs and whatnot. Oh, I had a request too. Liz, I got your letter and your gift. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. Liz had a request for some breakfast tacos in the virtual kitchen. If y'all wouldn't mind, Scotty Dog, if you can put that on, that would be great. Get those working next week. I know we have to do some shopping, right? We have a virtual kitchen. It's virtual. It's not real, but we all enjoy it. On your way into the virtual kitchen, please hit the thumbs up button. Those of you that are doing hashtag power tools while you're typing, okay, hit the thumbs up button if you would be so kind since you're there. I would appreciate that very much. That helps get this content out to others who can join us. So hashtag power tools. You guys are going to win a 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 rolls of stabilizer from Designs by Juju, brand new. We've got Cut Easy, okay? We have Magic mesh, no show mesh, very lightweight. And then we have tear easy for medium weight projects. Okay. Yeah. Plus some batting. How about that? This is the ultimate bundle on designsbyjujuplus.com. If you would use my link below, if you want to go check it out, I'd appreciate it very much. Wait and see if you win it first, right? And then if not, you guys are going to love this. Absolutely love it. All righty. Good. Perfect giveaway. I know, right? Twas? Okay. So this is Juju's magic mesh. We're going to play with it and figure it out ourselves. So I'm going to go ahead and put this stuff in a magnetic hoop. Now, let me show you how to prep for the multi-hooping. We talked about folding the fabric in quarters and getting it pressed properly, right? Can that batting go in quilts? Absolutely. It's very thin. And if you want to have a lofty quilt, you might use 2 layers, okay? So I'm going to show you guys how to prep for this. So once you have your fabric cut oversize, I'm going to turn y'all. Once you have your fabric cut oversize, I need more. I've got my hole here over my trash can. I'm going to fix that just a second. Let's do this, shall we? There we go. Y'all, I still have so much stuff to show you guys. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. Crazy. So you print out your designs, both of them, on dime print and stick target paper. All right. And let me move my mouse and my phone. No, US and Canada only currently. Okay. So the giveaway is US and Canada, North America. That's what we got. Okay. Yeah. US and Canada. Okay. Let me get my glasses here. So you're going to want to take your print designs and go ahead and put them on the fabric where you want them to go to make sure everything is going to fit. Let me get you down here. Okay. There we go. All right. So I'm going to make sure that these lines on the outside edges are on my center crease line here. Now I trimmed this one right up next to the U, and I left a little bit on the T so that this is exactly how they're going to fit together. It's very helpful to trim this very, very close. Okay. So I got to peel this paper off the back here, and that's always tricky. So let's put this down, and I'm putting my lines on that center, and I have enough room on the outside of the fabric for my seam allowance when I eventually trim this. You do waste a little fabric this way, but not a big deal, because this is better than having to do 2 blocks. So I'm going to put these exactly where they need to go. There, see that? So you want to get this alignment done first. And I'm using the hash marks on the print sticky paper. You can move this around. That looks really good, doesn't it? Okay, this is going to work out great. So I'm using a magnetic hoop from Designs and Machine Embroidery. Don't throw away your cardboard on this, you guys. All right, let me give her the thumbs up. And all right, okay, just like this. I've got this. This is the magic mesh from Juju. Okay, I'm gonna float this. I'm gonna put down my little plastic, corrugated plastic, and I'm gonna put. What I do is I stand the hoop up just like this, and I make sure that these edges are pretty close, and drop it down and then pull it out. And that's how you hoop without getting any kind of issues with your pinched fingers. Okay. And then in here, oops, I got my mesh caught up in there. Okay. I'm going to do the AUT first. Can y'all see where I'm going with this? Yeah. So I'm making sure, you know what, I'm going to draw that in with a Sharpie so y'all can see it. Or you can use a dime target sticker as well, because that's hard to see. Let me use a dime target sticker. Y'all, anything you get, just about anything you get from Designs and Machine Embroidery is handy. So I'm going to use this target sticker right here. And I'm going to put this, I'm going to fold it back kind of in half. Let me see, get that right there. Okay, I'm lining up the vertical with the vertical line on the plastic print and stick target paper and lowering it down. Okay. So this is going to be needle center. All right. And I'm making sure that the AUT, which is the first hooping, completely fits in here. All right. You're new here from Southern Cal? Let's see. Welcome. Awesome. Glad you are here. Appreciate it. All right. I'm going to get some pins. And I'm going to pin well out of the way of the stitching field. Okay. Oh, I had some pins on that other little magnet. These are those little magnets from Katie Corners. Aren't they cute? Cute little pin holders. I let that sit on that little magnet on the top of the luminaire. Very handy. Okay, this looks good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to actually get this lined up exactly where it needs to be. And then I'm going to pull off my stickers. Okay, because I've got some background quilting I got to do first before we do anything like that. But this is how you'll prep your multi-hooping, okay? All right, so confession. I cut my letters yesterday just fine on the scan and cut, except user error. I did not have this bottom corner of the fabric taped down. I should have, just like I have this one taped up here. I should have taped this down and the fabric lifted. Like I can just lift it and it tore up my end. So I'm going to have to manually trim around that end. Not a big deal, but I want to show you guys. Oh, hold on a second here. I wanted to show y'all that I'm missing some of my, I don't have my little stuff in from, y'all, I'm still a hot mess. We just got back on Monday. We got back on Tuesday. We got back on Tuesday from 6 weeks on the road. I still can't find everything. A lot of stuff is still in the motorhome. I've unpacked most of it, but so I don't have my little tiny scissors. I've got another pair over here. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I've got these. These will work. Always have spares, right? So yesterday in Embrilliance Stitch Artist, I created the hole for the A, and I want to show you that. So I'm pulling this up. It cut wonderfully. Let me turn that on. Look at this. Except for my end. That's the only thing that was a problem. Okay. Now, to put these on, you're not going to iron the whole thing down at once. So I want to show you what I'm talking about. Look at, see that A? See the hole in the A? I created that because that's not there. If you don't have Stitch Artist to be able to create that hole, you would want to trim it out after the tack down line, okay? So these letters, the way this was digitized, These letters have like tabs. Don't iron down the tabs. This is the part of my end that didn't cut. I don't have to do that manually. That's fine. I'll just run the tack down and cut it like it wants. Okay. So see how there's a tab on the top of that? That's supposed to be in the seam allowance. I don't want that. So after the tack down line runs, I'm just going to trim it off. But let me make sure I can see everything that's on the screen. Okay. So when I iron my letter onto the background fabric, I'm not going to iron that little tab. Don't do that. You can scrape it up with your finger, but just try not to. That's why everybody was saying that the second U was a different shape. That's because this whole side right here is a little tab. That's what that is. And then there's mine. And that was spam, and I apologize. Let me put my phone on mute. Okay. So my poor dead end, that happens. Okay. And I've got my fabric right here for additional that end. So, I don't know. I probably should have background quilted this before I put my, yeah, I probably should have background quilted this before I put my letters on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me take these up. Not a problem. See, they're repositionable. They're great. And I'll just go back and quickly do that again. Okay. Make sure nothing's underneath. I didn't even think about that. Okay, and I need to change my thread color. Are we tied off? We are. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, do your background quilting first for this, if you're going to do that. What's hashtag batting? That ain't it, Jennifer. Hashtag power tools, my friend. All right, so I'm going to go to embroidery and the pocket for memory, and I want, let's see, I sent it over wirelessly, and I will show you guys my screen here. Let me try to zoom you in a little bit. I think I can. I know I have a button for that. There we go. Yeah. And we've got some glare on the screen. I'm sorry about that. Maybe I can turn this. You can see it a little bit better, maybe. Yeah, so I need to, let's see. There's Autumn 1, which is AUT, Autumn 2, which is the last half, but I sent over the background quilting. Let's see. And I think it's called Wire. I named it Wire. Here it is, 3x14. That's it right there. And I resized this to 2 3/4 by 13 in Embrilliance. I'm going to hit set. Okay. And I'm going to go to embroidery. Change to a larger embroidery frame. Oh, rats. I forgot about that. Dang. Dang. So what I should have done is 2/2 of the chicken wire. Oh, man. I didn't even think that out. I'm going to tell it, okay. I'm going to skip the background quilting here, and I'm going to use background quilting in the Luminaire to quilt around it after I'm finished. Let me go back to home. And okay. See that? The batting. What about the batting? What about it, Sandra? The batting's on there. Yeah, the batting's on there. It's right here. It's on there. Yeah. Well, y'all, I didn't even think about the background quilting being larger. And to do that, you're going to have to do, oops, sorry. You're going to have to do two things, that background quilting first. I didn't even think of that. Dang it. So let's go ahead and get this back on here. I'm going to put this right there is good. I'll background quilt it afterwards. No big deal. Nobody will know, right? Just you and me. Get that on there. This is just to give me an alignment idea, okay? I forgot all about that. Okay. Yeah, there's batting on the back. It's so lightweight, you can't even see it. I'm suffering from motorhome lag. I know, right? Not thinking clearly. Not thinking clearly. Okay. So let me go ahead again. Here we go. I'm going to go back to embroidery. And I'm going to go to embroidery. This is the Brother Luminaire XP3. Let me see, out just a little bit. I don't have my little mouse. Whoop. There we go. I'm going to go to the pocket for memory. And I sent it wirelessly. And here it is, Autumn 1, which is the AUT. And I'm going to hit set. And it's facing the wrong direction from what I've got right now. So I'm going to go into edit and rotate. And I'm going to rotate 90 and 90. There we go. Now it's right. Okay. So a couple of different ways you can do this. I'm going to go into embroidery mode now. The easiest way to do this is to, up here in the very top, there is a button with a W on it. That W is your embroidery foot. And if you tap that, that's going to give you a downward directed crosshair. Okay. And so now I've got that crosshair. It's right here on my fabric. I can see it. So now all I'm going to do is I'll go to layout and I'm going to click the rotate button. You can use your jog buttons to get it down exactly where you want it so that that crosshair is on center. All right, and now up a little bit. There, it's perfect. So let me get you in and show you real close. Can you see the light green crosshair? Okay, maybe I could bump it one more down. Yeah, right like that. It's perfect. Okay. Will I add more stabilizer before I do the other half? No, I don't think so. See, I don't need a heavier stabilizer in this because the batting acts like a stabilizer. When you're doing quilt as you go, when you're doing quilt as you go, your batting is actually performing like a stabilizer. Okay, so I'm only going to remove this first one. Okay, I'm just going to take this off. And I'm going to leave the other one on because it's already lined up. So now I can just take this and set it aside. And I'm actually, oops, I got to change my thread color again because I didn't have the background quilting in this. I didn't even think about that. Darn it. I could do it. I could use the Luminaire's Design Center and go in there and make a couple of something, but I don't feel like fiddling with that right now. Okay, let me do this again. Whoop. Now, if your foot's up and you pull and your thread's not coming, drop the foot and then lift it again. And that will allow you to open up those tension discs. Okay, it's going to do the placement line for the AUT. And my hole will be on there, I think. I think it will. I don't know. It might not. It won't. Okay, that's all right. Okay. Now, if these are too much trouble for you guys, you can also use some other Juju letters if you want. I've seen that in our Facebook group. All right, so now I've got that done. Remember I told you I'm not going to iron the little tabs. So I'm going to do my main alignment for these from the bottom. Okay, to make sure that this all fits on the sides and the bottom. I don't care to align it right at the top. Those are little tabs that are supposed to be in the seam allowance, and I'm going to trim them off. All right, let me back out a little bit here. Okay. So I want to get my letters for AUT. Pull these up. That really matters on that. Okay. You always, when you remove your hoop, you want to have a firm, flat surface, okay, to make sure that you don't get any play in here that you're not wanting. So I'm just going to align this. And ironing is its own skill set, y'all. You need to see a tiny bit of the thread just outside of the fabric. You do not want to have, don't put the iron on the plastic. You do not want to have a gap. Well, this isn't a blanket stitch, so it's not as imperative because this has a pretty wide satin stitch covering. But see, I did not iron the top of that down. It's still floppy. And the U, I'm doing all of my alignments at the bottom. Okay. My iron is a Cricut mini press. I've had a couple of them fail, but I had spares. So I'll use this one till it quits. And then the A has the hole in it. Okay, good. So I don't have to trim around the tack down line. Okay, that's good. Now I'm ready to go back into the hoop. So yeah, see, I have the little tabs are not ironed down at the top. You still have the lines there, the stitch lines. I don't like those stitch lines, y'all. I'm going to make sure to stitch right inside of those when I put the blocks together. Okay, here is the, let me go to, okay, I want to go to needle plus minus and see where I'm at. All right, this is the tack down. And it should stitch, I think I can do that. Yeah, a lot of people struggle with these letters. Yeah, you guys be sure to hit the thumbs up button if you wouldn't not mind. Let me see. I got to see something here. I'm going to look. I think something, let me see. Okay, I want to make sure my giveaway tool is working. 654, excellent. Y'all keep doing that. Hashtag Power Tools to win the ultimate bundle giveaway from Designs by Juju. Okay. She will ship to Canada. And I need my mouse. I am looking here to make sure. Okay. I want to tell you guys too. I need to put a link to it. Hold on a second. Let you guys watch that. Let's see. I don't know. I might just leave those tabs right there. You know, the whole point was not to have to cut the letters. And I don't, except for that N. I'm just going to leave those. It's going to be in the seam allowance. So I'm just going to leave it. And now it's got it says 23 minutes to stitch this out. Okay. We don't have 23 minutes left, but I've given you the tools that you need to be able to realign these things. I'm going to go ahead. I cannot move this without letting that stitch out. I just can't do it. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it to go. So right after this tack down is where you would pull the hoop if you didn't create a hole. See, it's doing it right now. It's going to stitch. There's the tack down or the under stitching for the decorative stitch right there. So I didn't have to cut the hole, which is fantastic. All right. Oh my goodness. So this is working out perfectly. I want to get right in there real close so you guys can see how that pre-cutting the hole worked just perfectly. Look at that. Handy, handy. Love it. I love you guys giving your little tips. Let's see. There is yes, Pam says there's a stitch line that shows up at the end of the design, and you made it to cover and moved it to stitch out first. That's great, Pam. Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah, that's the beautiful part about getting comfortable with Embrilliance and figuring all those little things out. And that hoop's really moving around on that arm, but it looks good. So let's see here. All right, 689 in the entry for the ultimate giveaway, the ultimate bundle giveaway from Designs by Juju. And now it's going to go around the outside of the A. Okay. Okay, I need to. Okay. I've got something I'm editing right now in the description box for you guys. I want to make sure it is here before I tell you about it, kind of where I'm at. Okay, that should work. Okay, wanted to let you guys know, back up here. We have talked before about, we're going to do Lori Holt's Prim embroidery quilt, and that is available now for pre-order at Two Chicks Quilting. So I want to show you guys, I've got a link to it below in the description box, but I wanted to show you guys, let's see, I've got new comments. Okay. What they've got at Two Chicks and how to find it. I'm going to share my screen with y'all. Okay. So if you go to Two Chicks Quilting, or actually, they would appreciate it if you'd use my link below in the description box, because that way they can track and I get credit for it, because it's hard if they know you're buying it because you're going to sew along with me. But if you don't use my link, it's hard for them to go back and recount those. So on their website, you can go to fabrics and kits. Okay. And then just come down, and over here in the bottom, there's power tools with thread, and you can click that. Right. And then on my page, here is the pre-order for the fabric kit. It's a little less expensive than Autumn Love was. So this is the Prim. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. This is all applique. We're going to pre-cut all of our pieces with our scan and cuts and put that adorable quilt together. And then over here is the machine embroidery USB over on this side right here. And then if you would like to get any of their trim it rulers, there's one right there. Okay, those are Lori Holt trim it rulers. So this is Autumn Love, that we're already doing that one, but this is the pre-order for Prim fabric kit, and it will have the Prim fabrics in it. I spoke to the chicks last night. It does use some of the basics, but all of the most of the fabric is going to be the Prim line. It uses a combo of both Lori Holt basics and the Prim. And then here, the Prim quilt USB, and that's got all of the patterns in it that we're going to use to make all of our blocks and do it. So the lady who is doing the machine embroidery for this one, the digitizer for this one, this is going to be kind of much more, it's going to follow more along what we're used to with like a Designs by Juju tiling thing. So I wanted to let you guys know about that. The link to it is below in the description box. Okay. So let me stop sharing that. It's going to be very, very fun. We're going to have a good time with that. Now, that doesn't ship until November. So you've got plenty of time to go ahead and it will not have as much leftover fabric. No, it will not. The instructions are going to be more like to, instead of taking a whole big piece and putting it on there, you know, a lot of it uses 10 by 10 squares, but you're going to be able to use pieces of that 10 by 10. Okay. I've been assured. I don't know. So we're not going to have time today. I'm going to let this AUT finish stitching out and getting all of the outside stitching done. And then Monday, when we come back, I will show you how to move it and stitch that second part out. Okay. No, it will not be as much of a pain, Midge, because it has a different digitizer. The digitizer that digitized Autumn Love is I don't know, but I'm just going to tell you they have a new digitizer for Prim. Okay. Well, so simple. I know another Riley Blake embroidery quilt. They're trying to they've got a lot of embroidery stuff that they're bringing out right now. So we're going to give that a shot. This next one coming up is the new digitizer. They've had 3 separate test sews on it already, and it's come out perfect. So which video did you miss, Dave? Let's see. You do have to pick where you're going to spend your money on your project kits. That's for sure. Yeah. Got to pick what you're going to do. The Prim quilt comes in two different sizes as well. When you click on that link on the Two Chicks website, it'll come up. I think there's a 6x10 and an 8x12. It's a little bit smaller than the Autumn Love. Right. Yeah. Different. So the lady, I spoke to her, who is their digitizer at Riley Blake. She's new and been digitizing for decades. She's very good. And so far, so good on their test stitches. So that's been working out really well. You have Prim already. Awesome. You know what? I would buy a little bit extra. If you have yardage for the border, that's great. You've got a fat quarter bundle of Prim. I don't know if you'll have enough for the border, or you might look and see what they're using for background fabric. A lot of times that's what I do, is I'll go ahead and, oh, I've already got a bundle for this, a fat quarter bundle, but then I'll just buy a little bit extra yardage just for sashing, borders, background fabric, right? But then you have all of the pieces. Tomorrow is Dottie Day. I know, Fran. We're very excited about that. It's not Three Sisters. It's Two Chicks Quilting. Yeah, she says she can't find the link. So if it's not there, because I just updated that while we're live, you might refresh and it will come up. If you're on YouTube, you can close the video and open it back up, or you can hit the refresh on if you're on a laptop or desktop, that circle, click that, and then you can go into the description box and it should be there. I think. I'm pretty sure. Let me check. And pull it up on my video. I'm looking on a different tab here and see if it's there. And yes, it is there. So it says featured items, 993 watching right now. So it says featured items, new DBJJ stabilizer and batting. And then right below that is Prim, Lori Holt embroider along, Two Chicks Quilting. So it is there. Yes, certainly. Again, that's not going to ship until November. So this is a pre-order, and this allows Two Chicks to know exactly how much fabric they're going to need, any USBs they need to order, and all of that. All righty. Let's see. I was going to show you guys some other stuff. Oh, while this is stitching. No, we don't have time. I was going to show you guys some new Villa Rustic Designs patterns that came in. I got those yesterday. But we don't have time for that. What you got? Enjoy my puppy pickup. Can't wait to meet Dottie. You know, I'm kind of in a pickle right now. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to keep her playpen. She's got to stay in the playpen until we are potty trained, right? Housebroken, we used to call it. You know, I've been watching all these different videos on dog training, you know, first 24 hours with your new puppy, and everybody has some different method. I don't know how we managed. I will show the puppy. I will, but it'll be on Monday because we don't have her yet. We're getting her tomorrow. So, you know, I think you just have to find a bunch of videos and watch one that works for you, because puppy training, they say it's dog dependent. It's also owner dependent. You know, your personality matters just as much. But, oh, I think they'll get along just fine. Frito's really good around other dogs. At first, she's a little standoffish, but then she likes to play. Yes, Dottie will let me know what works for her. That's right, Deb. You're absolutely right. No, reworking Keith's sewing room, Dave, into Dottie Den. No, no. We don't use our, we've got one of those counter height dining room tables in the dining room, which we do not use. And I'll probably be moving her playpen back and forth between the dining room and the sewing room so she can hang out in here with me, because I spend a lot of time wherever I'm at. I want her, right? And she doesn't need to have a load of freedom just yet. So we're just going to have to figure that out. Okay, we are almost, we've got, so here's your last call for the giveaway today. I want to thank Designs by Juju, Julie from Designs by Juju, for sponsoring today's giveaway. We have 3 rolls of stabilizer. Okay. We've got, let me get this all back out here. And I will show you guys on Monday how I reposition for the second hooping. Okay. So we have a package of Lofty Soft batting. Very nice. You'll love that stuff, I promise. You're going to love Lofty Soft for your table runners, placemats, tree skirts, all those in the hoop things that Juju makes, except for that phone case. You don't put that in there. You won't be able to turn it. Okay. We have a roll of Cut EP, hashtag Power Tools, shipping to US and Canada only, please. Okay. And we have a roll of Magic Mesh. You guys are going to love this. Absolutely love it. And a roll of Tear Easy. Okay. I'm trying to talk her into making some Velcro straps so we can keep them wrapped up. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? All right. We're going to do the giveaway. If you did a hashtag Power Tools, be so kind as to hit the thumbs up. All right. Because I'm seeing over 1,000 watching, and I only have 566 thumbs up. If you're watching on your TV, grab your TV remote, and on the channel up button, that will do that as well. Helps to push out the content to everybody. All right, so the giveaway tool is at 763. Love that. Let's go ahead and do it. While we're stitching, multitasking, I'm going to share my screen. Giveaway tool, share, 767, ready, set, go. All right. All right, Brenda Daniels, 721. Congratulations. You're the winner of the Designs by Juju Ultimate Bundle. That's awesome. Good for you. Brenda, you need to, within 24 hours, you need to email me, powertoolswiththread@outlook.com. You need to send me your mailing address so that I can get this to Juju to get out to you. If I don't hear back from you by 9 a.m. tomorrow, I'm going to pick the person who was after you. So I appreciate that very much. We've got to get these things moving. All right, guys. So congratulations, Brenda. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Well, you guys, thank you so much for spending your morning with me. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Come back Monday. I'll show you how I rehoop the second part of this, and then we'll get it all finished up. All right. I'll talk to you soon. I love you guys. Give a thumbs up, subscribe for more cool time together in the sewing room, and I'll talk to you soon. So something. Bye.